Hey everyone, it's Patrick Henry and it's episode 3 of the Unbreakable series. Today, I said to everybody that I would be answering some questions. Now, just remember, it's just my opinion. I'm not saying that you should follow them. We're all individuals and I'm definitely not trying to sell you anything. So just take it for what it is. You know, this is for you guys. If it helps, I'm glad. If it doesn't, well, I like hearing my own voice anyway, so whatever. So let's go to question 1. So our first question is, how do you maintain focus and avoid spreading yourself thin whilst running 4 businesses? Now, first of all, we've all got the same amount of hours in the day. It doesn't matter if you're Jay-Z or Beyonce. You've heard this before, right? Bill Gates has got 24 hours in a day. So do you. Yeah, that's true. They've also got teams around them. My biggest weapon is my team. It's the people I trust, the people that I can fall back on, the people that I know have got my back, probably more than I've got my own back, and probably more than I can even trust myself. I trust them. You know, these are the same people that I don't put holidays into their contracts. I don't say how many days you can take a year for holiday time. I trust them to know when it's suitable to take holiday, when it's too much, when we're quiet so they can take a little bit longer if they need to. The next thing is how I prioritize my time personally. And to give you an example, a lot of people when they get into the office in the morning and they look at their emails, they see which email came in first and they deal with that email, then this email came in next, they deal with that email. I don't do that. I go through all of my emails and then I think, what is the most important email to deal with? Is there an urgent email to deal with? Do I deal with the problem? Do I delegate the problem or do I just delete the problem? I like to look at my time and not spread it too thin. I like to concentrate on one thing at a time. And that's the way you get the most out of your time. And if you keep flip-flopping between one situation and the next, you never dedicate yourself to it, and that means you never deal with it. You just delay it. So, on to the next question, is how do I find time and consistently go to the gym? Now, the first part of that is, how do I find time? Hopefully you're never ever gonna hear me say, I don't have the time. There's always time, it just depends on what you're willing to sacrifice. You can stay up late at night watching those funny cat videos on YouTube rather than going to bed early and waking up early and going to the gym. That's up to you. It's all about what you're willing to sacrifice. Now, the second part of it is probably most important, consistency. Now, I had a vision in my head, and that was from looking at The Rock and seeing how he is a massive physical presence, still kept a smile and personality, but, you know, was physically looks fantastic. You know, I wanted to look great for my kids so that they've got a role model, both mentally and physically, hopefully. So my ambition gave me a target. The way to get there was through consistency. So every day I have a routine. I know I'm getting up at 5 o'clock. The first few times I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym, just like any other human being on earth, it was hell. Okay, there's no getting around that. It's gonna be difficult. But then you start getting into a routine. Now people are like, you get up at 5 o'clock. I'm like, well, yeah, what are you doing at 5 o'clock? You know, it's just part of who I am, like eating certain foods and sleeping on my front rather than my back, or I don't know, writing with my left hand instead of my right hand. It's just how I am now. So set yourself a goal and then make it a lifestyle. Make it consistent until eventually it just feels natural. Let's go to the next question. So question 3 is, how do I stay positive despite setbacks and disappointments? This is a really good question. And let me tell you something to start off with. The only people that don't get setbacks, the only people that don't get disappointed are those people that don't do and try new things. Yeah, it's simple. If you stay in your lane, if you do the same thing day in, day out, you're gonna get the same results. The people that actually try, that get out of their comfort zone, they try to create something new. They try to create a new process, something to help the world move onwards, whether that's a new product or that's a new way of helping people. Those people are gonna fail. They're gonna get knockbacks, they're gonna get setbacks. But this is the way I always think about dealing with it. If something negative happens to me, I've got 2 ways that I can deal with it. I can either be consumed by it and make myself react negatively to it, or I can try and make the best of the situation. Once it's in the past, it's done. You know, once you've lost that deal, once it's happened and it's signed to someone else, it's done. Now what do? Do we wallow in self-pity? Do we hit the bottle? Do we turn to drugs? what do? If we do that, you're doubling down on your problems. Then you've got to deal with the hangover. Then you've got to deal with the fact that you've just spent a load of money and you've lost sleep doing something that is just soul-destroying and self-defeating. The only way to get over your problems is to think how to make the best of the things that are in your control. Those are things that you can change in here. And I know because I've been down, I've been at the point of near self-destruction. And all I can tell you is, take control of the things that you can control. Forget about all the others. Forget about the negative things that have happened. Think about them, analyze them, use them in the future, use those lessons in the future. That's great. Do not let them consume you. The way to make the most out of your time and the way to make the best out of a situation is to take action on the things that are in your control. That's how I make the best of the worst. And that's the last question. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that. 3 really good questions, which I hope I didn't make too much of a hash off when I answered. The main thing I want you to take away from this is that we're all different. Everyone's got their own drivers. Everybody's got their own lived-in experience. So just take it for what it is. It's just one man's opinion, one man's advice given to you. But my main takeaway from all of this, if we're going to group it all into one, is find out what works for you. Don't be scared to try different things. Think outside the box. Be creative, be imaginative. Don't be afraid of change. And definitely don't be afraid to get started. That's episode 3 of the Unbreakable series. We'll see you next week. We just finished filming the 3rd episode of the Unbreakable series. It was all question and answers, but there are some questions and answers that I wasn't able to answer because there were too many of them, so I thought I would go through some of the responses. First of all, would you rather fight a duck-sized horse or 20 horse-sized ducks? Now, I don't actually know. I would like to see if I could choke out a horse, but if it's shaped like a duck, then its beak is going to be really difficult. If it's wet as well, it's going to be hard to get a grip. I'll probably take on the 20 horse-sized ducks. Wait. What, a duck-sized horse? Oh, he's got it around the wrong way, isn't he? Yeah, I would fight the duck-sized horse because, like, I would just kick it in the head, right? I mean, the vegans are going to be angry at me, but I wouldn't kick it. It's just theoretical, you know? I'm just saying I wouldn't actually kick a duck or a horse. Which 3 people, alive or dead, would you invite to a dinner party? Mark Twain, Prince, Christopher Hitchens. All of them are dead, sadly. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Probably season 20 of the Unbreakable series. Still struggling to get those 10,000 followers that I need to do that swipe up thing on my stories. How did Radiant start and evolve, and what do you plan for its future? Jesus, that's a big one. Okay, started because me and James Brown decided that we were going to open the best luxury tanning salon that the world has ever seen. Evolved because we kept on going and going and going and going relentlessly. And what are the plans for the future? The plans for the future is to make Radiance London the brand in the indoor tanning world. That is the plan. Any advice on wise cash flow planning from your experience? Yes. Don't waste money. Don't go to Costa Coffee. Pack your lunches. Look after the pennies. If you don't understand compound interest, then you will become a victim of it. If you do understand it, you will make yourself rich. It just works that way. Learn how to take care of the money underneath. Keep your overheads low as you can. It will bear fruit in the future. Don't show off for anyone. Spend money that you don't need to spend. That money, I promise you, can be better placed elsewhere. Nobody remembers the money that you spend when you're showing off. It's all superficial. Don't do it. Okay, done. Bye.